how one can reach their full potential. So for those of you who take notes in your head, it's a good time to do so. There are five actually, I would say, 5 key roadmaps, stops on the road. The first one for me has been to define success for myself. And this is so important, especially for the young generation. And I'm thankful I didn't grow up with TikTok and everything else. But you now have this mentality where you're on this treadmill of what you think is success because everyone around you thinks so. And it's incredibly important to stop and define that for yourself. The second thing is to guard and build your reputation. And my mother taught me this, and she always used to say, there are times when the reputation of who sent you is more important than your CV, right? So oftentimes when people come to you and say, oh, recommend this person, recommend that person, you are giving your political checkbook out there. And I would recommend that you do that sparingly, based on trust of that person. So reputation is incredibly important. Many of the things, I was the chair of the Green Bond Principles, and that's raised over $1 trillion, right, in bonds today. And how I got that position, I'd always been on this committee. But one day somebody phoned me and said, we were talking today about who would be a good chairperson, and everybody agreed you. And I didn't believe it. But based on that, I was encouraged to step forward. It's not something I would have probably done on my own. And I think it's an interesting point where many opportunities I've had, it's not because I pushed for it, it's because somebody somewhere in a room that I wasn't in said, you should speak to Esohe, or you should speak to Denise about that. So your reputation is really important. The third thing I would say is finding the right mentor, but more importantly, a sponsor. And that sponsor is not financial because they're things that count more than money, right? So again, it's the person who is in rooms and in conversations where you're not, but mentions you when the opportunity comes up, puts themselves on the line, and they write from that political checkbook for you. That's really important. And the fourth is role modeling. And I talked about Christine Lagarde earlier, kind of half in jest, but she is someone who I think I can say was, one, she was my neighbor, so I saw her a lot. But a person who had this grace to make you feel like she remembered you even if she didn't. But talk about a female leader, right? And so in many ways, she doesn't know this, but she's a role model for me, right? So choose the people that you want to aspire to be because they have qualities that you want to exhibit. And at that same point, I would say my last stop on this roadmap is basically to be selective of the people who are your advisory board. Create your own advisory board. And by that, it needs to be people that you know have the skill set, the interest, the drive, right? To just advise you to make your dreams become a reality. That is incredibly important. So I challenge each and every one of you to think about how you can personally invest in your own lives and communities and the women around you.
Thank you for tuning in to Nigeria Magazine's YouTube channel. Stay connected, stay informed, and stay inspired with the latest from Nigeria. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated.